Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, April the 4th, 2023. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for information and education purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to do without. All right, let's get to it. Crude oil just picked up its first trade of the morning, short at 81.54. Just missing money management. Got money management's at 38 and got as low as 39. All right. YM has a get in sync in just a few minutes, just a minute or less than a minute. Yep, just under a minute. You've got a get in sync at 786. Unleaded gas this morning picked up a trade to get in sync at 9 o'clock right in here. We're able to get in sync at 9:01. That goes target 1 and target 2 and trails out at 582 from the entry at 516. Solid one and done session. 56 ticks to target 1, 87 for target 2 traders. And we got 16 to 87, 71 ticks on the trailer. So nice one and done session this morning. And one tick from money management again on there's money management for crude. Looking for 36 for target. And the YM pushed on through and has not come back and it's just hit money management, so that trade's off the table. Soybeans trade set up after we'd gone through the entry, so we're looking for a pullback right there. So we need a pullback to the entry before going to target 1. Target 1 on crude. Stop at 81.53. Please do say hello in the chat. Getting close to target 2 on crude. And soybeans trade triggered in. So soybeans is long. Crude hitting target 2, so that is 18 and 29 ticks for the trade, 47 in the morning, and one and done. YM pushed on through, never came back to the entry, so not able to get into that one. I've got to check that little tail there. That's not what I wanted to do. Now, actually looks like we did pick up an entry there 15 seconds after. So, that is a valid trade. Target 1 hit. That's a one and done session. We came up and hit it a couple of times. One time, one of those was after 9:30, so that hopefully you got your orders in there. One and done on the YM. $29 ticks to target 1, and looks like we got $72 on the trailer. Entry was at 86, 14 on the trailer, 29 on target. One and done session there. And soybeans hit target 1. Quick touch, and the stop is at 16 1/4. They picked up 11 ticks to target 1. That'll be a one and done session. Pound Aussie with a short trade. Definitely in the short on Pound Aussie. And a long trade on the Russell. Let's also bring up the Alright, we've just hit our start time on the MNQ, so looking for a new trade there. Lots of time for this long on the Russell. Good morning, Riley. Welcome. All right, the Russell trade stopped out. Now he's in a short. $0.74. Target money management's at target. Well, I see. 0.60 is going to be money minimum distance for break even. All right, targets 3 and 4 achieved on the Russell, trailing at 0.56. Still. And soybeans stopped out for three additional positions at 1 tick each, 14 ticks on the day. One and done on chart number 4. Spotlight trades on crude, unleaded, and the YM. Counterpunch on soybeans here on the lower right, and catapult for the micro Russell in the upper left and the micro NQ on the lower center. Pound Aussie on Spotlight on the lower left. $8.047 for the stop on the Russell and just stopping out. So 1 loss, 1 win so far. There are different power of quitting rules on these catapult trade plans. They're a scalp and run type setup, so we'll take four wins, 3 losses, or 6 trades maximum. One minute, folks. I need to. Hey, Donna. All right, I'm on a live chat, so I'm gonna have to give you a call back if I can. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. All right, crude is done, so we're waiting for, so we're looking at the 3 charts over here on the 2 on the left and bottom center. Everything else is done. Quick work of those this morning. We will come back to the crude chart for the 10 a.m. mini session. We trade crude in mini sessions, 1 hour, maximum of 3 trades. All right. Russell seems to be consolidating a bit at session lows. Micro NQ is just getting down to its session low, and the YM also just above its session low. So a down morning, it looks like. Crude just off of its session highs at 81.80 today. Hitting session highs around 9:15 this morning. New long trade on the Russell. The MNQ stopped out of its early trade, so we will look for a new setup there. And the pound Aussie looking like it's trying to decide which way it's going to go. YM with a new session low. Looks like a down close might get us a short trade on the Russell as well. And pound Aussie back in the entry. And the micro NQ still with, or micro Russell rather. The M2K still with the long trade that has not triggered. And just triggered. Russell is long. I was about to suggest adjusting around this swing high on the bar before the setup, but that would have made no difference at all. And the MNQ also picking up a long trade. $259.5. And the micro NQ back up to the session open. 5 p.m. yesterday. $267 flat for the session open. Yesterday's session open. The current session open, I should say. And short trade, second loss on the Russell, but reversing to a short trade at the stop. It looked like it pulled back to the entry, so I would say we got in this one. 8109. Or, yeah, 8019. So 800.5 is our money management. MNQ. Target 1 is 276. Looks like we've gotten close. 274 3/4. So 5 ticks away, and the Russell did get money management. So we're going to have at least a break-even trade here. And there is the stop move on the micro NQ, hitting target 1 as well. 259 3/4 for the stop. The micro NQ, and we did come back up and stopped out at break even on the micro Russell. And that would be an intra-bar stop move to 1.01.8, and that would have stopped out. So 2 losses, 1 win, 1 break even. Russell moving opposite the YM and the micro NQ. YM and micro NQ both pushing up off of session lows. Russell setting new session lows. Okay, micro NQ, target 2 is our first actionable target. 288 flat. Pound Aussie still having trouble getting down through the 20 simple moving average. And that blue line. And it looks like the Russell's still trying to push down. It actually pushed down to target 3. The calculator's tracking it as a continuing trade, but per our normal procedures, we do move the break-even stop intra-bar, and that did stop out. And the Russell does come back to the stop. So even though it hit target 3, it did so after coming back and hitting the break-even stop. So all positions came off at the break-even stop. And we're looking for trade number 5. Riley, please feel free to ask any questions that come up. That is what we're here for, or what I'm here for. Looks like the pound Aussie was rejected at the 20 SMA again. But this time we've got to close above the balance line, so that, well, it's then pulling back again. Maybe. Not sure what it's going to do. No, that's spot forex. It's the spot forex pair, because pound Aussie would be the spot market pair. If we were trading futures, it would be single currency rather than a currency pair. That's the pound Aussie spot pair, using an 80 tick or 8 pip range bar, 8 pip momentum bar for TradeStation. So in other words, 0.008 for the TradeStation momentum bar. The 80 tick range is equivalent to the 0.008 momentum between NinjaTrader and TradeStation. And a long trade, and I don't know if that may have been too fast to trade. 10 o'clock session, and I didn't catch that on looks like the pound Aussie popped down, hit money management and target 1, and came back up to stop out. Now that's a one and done. We did get a target there, so that completes that session. And it looks like the Russell was a break even at best, even if we can get into it. Yeah, no, it hit money management on the same second that it plotted the. So that was too fast to trade anyway. Micro NQ with a target 2, target 3, and target 2, 3, and 4. And the trailer at 303/4. So trade number 1 is a solid win on the Micro NQ. Still looking for trade number 5 on the Micro Russell. Quick pop on 10 a.m. crude session. Getting a money management getting a break-even trade out of it. 81.31 for the entry. We stopped out at 81.32. We hit money management at 81.45, but did not quite get to target at 81.47. Looks like we got one tick away. And looks like Micro NQ stopped out at 303/4 and now is short from 292.50, and a short trade on the Russell as well. Russell short at 0.24. Now I typically do trade the Forex market, especially for day trading, because you've got much more control over your position size and so forth, and a full stop out on the Russell. That is loss number 3, and that ends the session on the Micro Russell. Micro NQ still surviving. That is our only chart now. And stopping out for a loss on the micro NQ. Same POQ rules there. And a full loss on crude, and now a short setup. That was a 19 tick loss, or 19 tick risk, 38 tick loss. And we have an entry at 81.19. Don't worry about that, Neil. It's Forex account. Forex is kind of it's not wouldn't be my primary market. It's a secondary, just diversification market for me. We haven't actually put together any trade plans on currency futures. That's one you're going to have to work on yourself. And the primary reason is because currency futures tend to be fairly large trades, and you don't have a lot of flexibility in your position sizing. That's the major reason that we go to Forex, because you've got so much more flexibility with your position sizing, being able to use down to micro lots. As currency futures contracts are fairly large. Takes a pretty significant account to be able to stay within 2% risk parameters. All right, the short trade on crude triggered in. Now pulling back up, not being able to get away from the 200 EMA. And a new long trade set up on the micro NQ. Entry at 316.5. And looks like the micro NQ moving up again. And well, maybe not. Just cleared its previous swing high. And pulling back. And actually pulling back slightly beyond the Renko bar open, so more than a 12-point pullback, or at least a 9-point pullback from the open from the actual from the close of the last bar. See where we go from here. Not a whole lot. Now a long trade. This is a stop and reverse on, so that will be at 81.33 with our 2-tick stop and reverse adjustment. There at the yellow line. A close below the balance line here would cancel the long trade. And there it is. So the long trade cancels on crude. And we're still kind of stuck right around the entry level, just below it right now on the micro NQ. Target 1 on the short side. So we were down 38. Target 1 was 22. This is a big trade. 22 and 35 are the targets. 80.97 for target 1, which we've already hit. 80.84 for target 2. And our stop currently at 81.12. And loss number 2 on the micro NQ. Reversing at the stop. So we should be short. New session lows on the YM and the Russell. NQ well off the session lows, actually in positive territory on the session, but also headed downward right now. Target 2. So we pick up 22 and 35, 57 ticks. We were only down 38, so we're 19 ticks positive on the session. That mini session getting to power of quitting. And the MNQ getting to target 2. That's another second win. 2 wins, 2 losses. That should get us to positive. Our stop is at 295 and a quarter. So that's our remaining active chart. Only the micro NQ. Trade number 4 is a winner. The only question is how big. And now pushing down through the session open. So the micro NQ along with the micro Russell and the YM all down on the day. Micro Russell and micro Y and the YM are both setting session lows. Target 3 on the micro NQ. That definitely erases the second loss. So we are definitely positive so far after 4 trades. Winning on the long initially, and then a couple of losses as it reversed. Went back and forth a little bit before it actually reversed, and now we're getting a strong short trade. Crude's gone through all 4 targets, and the trailer is currently sitting at 80.67. Micro NQ trailing stop now at 269 flat. And the 50 has crossed over the 200, crossed below the 200 EMAs on crude. Crude heading downward now, back to the session open at 80.39. Got as low as 80.40 it looks like. And the micro NQ stopping out at 269. Flat. Getting targets 2 and 3, final 2 positions coming off at 269 from long stop at 294.75, so that was where we reversed. So about 25 points on the trailer, and we pick up 28.5 and 40.5 on the targets for 69. So we got about 94 points on that trade. And we're about an hour in. Do we have any other questions? With only one chart left to look at, if there aren't any questions, I'm going to wrap it up about 10:30 then. And we will be back tomorrow at 9:30 with the regular session. crude oil inventory report session at 10:30. So the 9:30 session tomorrow will only be about 45 minutes. We'll shut it down about 10:15. Start a new session and be back just before 10:30 for the crude oil inventory report. Next week, all indications right now are the crude oil inventory report is still going to be on Wednesday. Even though we have Easter this weekend, I don't see any bank holidays showing on Forex Factory, which is kind of strange because I'm sure that the banks are closed either Friday or Monday. If they're closed if it's Monday's the federal holiday, then the inventory report should move to Thursday. But at this point, I don't see any indication, and I'll basically have to wait for after tomorrow to see when the next report comes out on the EIA site. And another new long trade on the micro NQ, trade number 5, 277.50. Any further questions or comments? All right. And since it is 10:30, I am going to call it a morning, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. We'll do the same thing again at 9:30. Except we will not do a 10 a.m. crude mini session tomorrow because of the 10:30 inventory report. You are quite welcome, Neil. Glad to have you here. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Everybody have a good one.